New guns coming to last year's COD. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. On the screen today, you're going to be watching some Black Ops 4 gameplay, but we're going to be talking about World War II today. Yes, World War II, last year's COD. And this is an article courtesy of Charlie Intel, and it says Sledgehammer Games plans to add new weapons to COD World War II. Sledgehammer Games has commented on the World War II subreddit and stated that they plan to add more weapons into World War II in the next few months. Some fans were asking on Reddit if Sledgehammer Games plans to expand support, as some have been saving up their supply drops to open for new content that the team mentioned back in December. Sledgehammer says that in March, new unreleased variants of currently existing weapons will be added. Later in spring, new weapons across all weapon categories will also be added. We have a plan that's close to final for unlocking some unreleased variants for existing weapons starting next month, and some bigger batched releases of new weapons spanning all weapon categories starting later this spring. Sledgehammer Games said that they are still working with Activision and other internal studios to line up release for the new content for Call of Duty World War II, so that's why there's been no new info since their tease back in December with the Winter Siege's return. To those hoarding supply drops for the chance at new weapons in World War II, like Golden Gunner 79, don't know why you have numbers in your name, we appreciate your patience and are hustling to add some fresh new weapons to the game. Takes time to align internally and with our partners at Activision along with other studios, and the source is on Reddit because obviously they said that in the World War II subreddit. But yo, that's crazy. Like, you know, I don't recall any game getting support after the new game has come out. You know, if you talk about, or if you think about when the season pass was still a thing, there was 4 DLCs, and then after the 4th DLC, like, they basically stopped caring about the game. You know, everybody was just fixated on the next game, and like, you know, that was it. It was very rare that games even got patched. You know, I remember a specific thing where, if you remember this, I think it was like 2012 or something like that. It was like when Black Ops 2 was out, and there was some offensive, I guess you could say, stuff in the washroom in Favela, or on Favela in Modern Warfare 2, and it was offensive to a certain group of people. And you know, that was the only time that I've seen something get patched, you know, after the fact. Because, you know, if you talk about the M16 in COD 4, it's still overpowered. Like, if you talk about the original COD 4, it's what, 12 years later. Talk about Modern Warfare Remastered, you know, 2 years later, they still never fixed that. But, you know, Sledgehammer, you know, these guys are still trying to add guns, and they're still trying to, you know, bring back events and, you know, shit like that. So, you know, maybe Condrey and Schofield and these guys leaving was for the better. You know, apparently this Aaron guy has it good over there at Sledgehammer. He's been you know, doing a lot of good stuff, and I heard that the game improved a lot. Personally, I didn't really play it that much. It was okay. Like, you know, it's not like it didn't stand out to me in any way. It was an okay game, but the support for the game the support for the game is amazing. You know, you talk about it's going to be in spring, you know, whether that's April, March, you know, whatever, that's like a year and a half after the game released. And, you know, you're talking about they're still adding guns, they're still adding, you know, DLC, they're still like caring about the game, they're still passionate in the game, stuff like that, when they should be working on the new game. You know, so it's like, you know, at the same time, I hope that the new game isn't, you know, getting the short end of the stick because they want to keep supporting World War II and, you know, whatever. So, you know, I hope that it's, you know, a small amount of people or a different team that's working on World War II, and then you have, you know, the bulk of the people, which is supposed to be working on, you know, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Maybe they make Advanced Warfare 2. Who the fuck knows? But I hope not. But, you know what, this is good to see. Like, I'm glad, because, you know, talking about Black Ops 4 right now, with the whole content thing, and everybody saying that how there's not enough, you know, post-launch content, or, you know, nothing has come out. It's been like, what, 2 maps or something that's come out, couple guns, like, even if you think about like with the season 1, if you want to talk about the battle pass, or whatever you want to call it, it was a reskinned GKS and a reskinned ICR, so that's not really content, if you want to call it that. But at least this time we got the Damon, and then we got the SWAT. Obviously SWAT's actually amazing. Well, they're both actually amazing. I think they're really good guns. But this is something that I like to see. I like to see developers support their games, and these guys are doing it after the fact, right? Like, when you think about it, some developers don't even support their game when their game is like the primary game of the time, if you get what I'm saying. It's like, I don't, this is good to see. Obviously World War II left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. So hopefully people see this as Sledgehammer actually cares about their games, and they actually try to fix it and patch it and keep it fresh, add stuff, all these kinds of things. And hopefully these guys get, I guess you could say, recognition for it, because right now, if we're talking about effort and content and stuff like that, I mean, shit, you can't argue that Sledgehammer is doing it right. These guys are supporting their game after its life cycle, and they're still out here patching, adding guns and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, yo. Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield, fuck you. Sledgehammer's doing better without you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you everybody for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. It's very much appreciated. All relevant links will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next one. Fuck you, Michael Condrey.